So I'm at my pond again, and I am going to be, as I explained to you at the first part of the video, I'm going to be taking off a piece of ELODEA densa, right? Yeah, nice freshly, piece, broken piece. This orchid fall off the tree, right? And so as not to, you know, do a little comparison to what I call it now, too broad, I'm going to be taking at the same time a piece of hornwort, right? Notice the hornwort is probably about 1.5 inches. I'm going to be doing the measurement, so hold on a little bit. Before I even go into the measurement of the 2 pieces of planting which I took out of the pond, let me go back to this bottle of water. I caught this bottle of water at the downtown ocean front, right? Seawater, right? Kind of look a little bit more, I call it now, discolored in comparison to the water that you will have in the pipe, because it has high concentration of salt. And so what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be pulling this bottle of water, which is salt water, and I'm going to be pouring the water right into the glass bottle. That means anything in the glass bottle, any plant, it would actually get sunlight, right? Okay, these are some of my convicts in which I have. They're growing up. These are mixed beak polar blue and white convict cichlid, or should I say pink convict cichlid. Alright, let's get back to the video where we are actually measuring the length of the ELODEA densa being placed in the jar. So this piece is roughly about 2.5 inches, right? And this is seawater, right? So I place that there. And this hornwort is roughly 2 inches. 2 inches, right? So I place it here, and in the next 7 days I check it to see if there's any growth spurt. If there's any growth spurt, that simply means ELODEA densa or hornwort, whichever two do grow, can actually survive in salted aquarium or saltwater aquarium, or within very saline type environment. Alright, so catch you next 7 days, and I share you the update on that. So I like the whole this to stay. Remember my last videos in which I did with an experiment like this. It's similar to that. It will stay here, receive the sunshine and the light as it should. Okay, so catch you in 7 days time. So the last time I shared with you this ELODEA densa in this salt water, I shared with you a bright, nice looking ELODEA densa, right? The ELODEA densa had a bright green color like this, right? The salinity of ELODEA densa, in which the maximum salinity is in which it can manage, is, I think it's 7.5 in pH, right? The ELODEA densa can manage variable pH levels, right? I mean, ranging from as low as probably about 3.54 to as high as probably 7.58, right? Now, as the plant actually settles down into the salt water, what will happen is that the cells will start to shift around, and you find that there are some movements outside which is consistent with what's going on here. I won't take it out of the bottle until the period is up, but as you can see, it's kind of it's looking a little bit different than before. That's because there is some movement in the cells. Right now, I had thought that the ELODEA densa would stand up to the salt water a little bit more than the hornwort, but it seems as if the hornwort is doing much better. You can tell that the hornwort is doing much better because the hornwort is still floating. It has not changed color, and it is still floating, and the leaves are not all freckled all over the place. But the taste of the pudding is at the end of the 7 days, which is about 3 days time. I placed them in it from Friday, and today is Monday, and so I have 3 days left, and we shall see what happens. But so far the piece of ELODEA densa have actually stopped floating, actually sink, and it's down to the bottom. The color has changed from this bright green, right, into a darker color looking green with some I call it now, I don't know if it's osmosis you call it, going on right there for just the testing of, you know, whether or not it's like a dull piece I placed in it. Looking from up below, it would seem as if everything is okay, but I realize the plant leaf itself seems to be thinning. So I'm gonna, for the next 3 days, I'm gonna place this little piece in which I've not measured it inside. It's not for growth, it's just to see whether or not the plant itself changes color, right? So it is in, and also as you can see the plant is floating, right? And I'm gonna allow it, the bottle and everything, to stay right here where it can get a lot of sunshine. So it can't be said that enough sunshine was not reaching it, so therefore that's the reason why it sinks. So it's a lot of sunshine here, it's outside at the back of my yard, and we shall see what happened in the next 3 days. So this is day 7 with the ELODEA densa and the hornwort, right? ELODEA densa totally dead. ELODEA densa, although it is really forgiving as far as pH is concerned, it cannot survive in saline water. So the water that I caught at the sea, right, at the shoreline, oops, a piece fell out. I think it's the hornwort, right? And I wanted to actually look at it. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, things happen. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. So the hornwort is dead. It started to shell out. So it makes no sense as I place it here. It starts to shell out, right? Where the condition of the hornwort is not conducive to its growth, it starts to shell off. It's a total different dynamics for the ELODEA densa that will be so this is the new piece that I placed in the other day. It starts to die already. I placed it in 3 days ago. I'm going to rest it here. Probably next subsequent video I can tell you whether or not it actually comes back to life. ELODEA densa, I'm going to do a video on this. You can look out for it, where in which it changes color. This one actually melts. The ELODEA densa actually melts, similar to the hornwort. Wow. And I can tell you that it smells really funky, right? So sorry I don't have a pH testing kit in which I would test the salinity of the water, but I can say that I measured the growth of the, well, I measured the length of the ELODEA densa before I placed it here. It was a few inches, probably about 2.5 inches down, well, I think, right? I don't really write down those things, right? And both the ELODEA densa and the hornwort plant actually died. So it's a fact. ELODEA densa, although some persons might say that they have actually seen this plant along the shorelines in where you have deltas, where you have lagoons, where you have swamps, where you have inlet areas, but the salinity of these areas probably might not be as much as beyond 7.5 in pH. Thus the ELODEA densa can survive. So it has a wide range in which it can survive. I have one little tilapia in which I saved from the adults. Well guys, thank you very much for stopping by. Thank you very much for following the video so far, and I'll be doing another video on ELODEA densa, which looks at the color of the ELODEA densa as age progresses. Peace out, catch you next time, bye bye.